Hindi po ba ang nagre-rekomenda sa Kongreso ng National Expenditures Program ay ang Pangulo?
It is called the President's budget, Mr. Speaker.
So
but
it
I
is
don't
the
think
President's budget, and it's a fact that 48,243,000 was allocated for the first district of Leyte because he is the cousin of the President, and 30 billion was given to the first district of Ilocos Norte, the son of the President, and it will not happen if they are not a political dynasty. Mas madaling magnakaw kung yung tatay mo yung nakabantay sa kaban ng bayan at yung tsuhin ay siya namang may hawak ng susi. Ito po ay hindi po anti-political dynasty law. It will institutionalize political dynasties. At palagay ko po, nag-Pinoy-henyo tayo, pwede ka na pwede. Kaya ang final na sagot ko po, hindi to anti-political dynasty law. Ito po ay isang budol. 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 Salamat po. Thank you to our chairman of the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms. May I ask some clarification
Mr.
and
Speaker,
questions?
always welcome po ang aking kinagalang
Dala na po akong
na
tubig.
65 years old, Congressman Irice.
Nagdala na po akong tubig. Baka abutin tayo madaling araw eh. Joke
Ay,
lang po.
unfair kasi,
Joke
hindi ako
lang
pwede-
po.
hindi ako pwede
Iniinggit lang kita.
uminom.
Iniinggit lang kita. Salamat po. Ginoong sponsor, malinaw na nakasaad sa Article 2, Section 26 ng 1987 Constitution ng mga sumusunod. The state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. Ang tanong ko po ay napakasimple. Tama po ba na ang utos ng konstitusyon sa Kongreso ay magpasa ng batas na magbabawal sa political dynasties?
Tama po yun, Mr. Speaker.
Hindi po ba sinabi ng konstitusyon na i-regulate lamang ito? Hindi rin po sinasabi na bigyan ng limitadong pahintulot, kundi malinaw na sinasabi ipagbawal ang political dynasties. Tama po ba ito?
Yeah, full stop po. Ang sinabi po ng Constitution is to prohibit anti-political dynasty law as may be defined by law. Ang doon po yung definition is pagkarapatan na binibigay sa atin, mandato na binibigay po sa atin ng ating Constitution kung paano po natin to bibigyang buhay itong anti-political
But it
dynasty.
should prohibit.
Pero if I may be allowed, Mr. Speaker, pero siyempre, kung wala pong absent po talaga yan sa Constitution, babalikan din po natin yung intent ng batas na iyon.
Tama po.
Ang intent po ng batas na iyon, titingnan po natin kung paano po nagkaroon ng diskusyon ang mga framers ng Constitution. Sinabi po nila is hindi po complete absolute abolition, ito po ay regulation, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Ang intensyon nila ay pigilan ang konsentrasyon ng kapangyarihan sa iilang pamilya. Dahil
Tama po
ito
yan.
ang isa sa mga ugat ng korupsyon, patronage politics, kahinaan ng political parties at kawalan ng tunay na kompetisyon sa politika. Ito po yung arguments ng mga framers ng Constitution.
Tama po yan, Mr. Speaker.
Ang layunin ng probisyong ito ay buksan ang politika sa mas maraming Pilipino, hindi upang i-institutionalize ang kapangyarihan ng mga political clan. Tama po?
Tama po yan.
Ngayon po, Ginoong Sponsor, ayon sa bersyon ng inyong committee, pinapayagan pa rin ang mga magkakamag-anak hanggang ikalawang antas ng consanguinity o affinity na sabay-sabay humawak ng posisyon sa gobyerno basta't magkakaibang antas o posisyon. Tama po ba yon?
Tama po yan, Mr. Speaker.
Halimbawa, isang miyembro ng pamilya ay pwedeng tumakbo, manalo sa posisyon ng national, for example, senador. Halimbawa, si Senador De La Cruz. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po, Mr. Speaker.
At
Maaari din
yung
po siyang matalo.
ang kanyang anak ay pwedeng tumakbo at manalo bilang gobernador, makaupo bilang gobernador. Pwede po yun?
Pwede rin pong tumakbo at matalo.
Hindi, pero pwedeng maupo.
Pwede pong manalo at matalo.
O nga po, pwede nga pong, pag nanalo, mauupo. Tama?
Tama
So
po.
sabay
Pero pag-
sila.
Tama po.
Isang senador, isang governor. Tama?
Tama
Sabay
po yun.
sila.
Pwede pong maging sabay, pwedeng hindi magsabay, pwedeng matalo yung isa
Hindi
sa
nga po,
kanila.
kung mananalo, sabay sila, pwede.
Kung yung frame of mind nyo po, ang gusto niyo
Hindi
pong
po, yun ang frame. Ang tinatanong ko lang po, simple lang. Kung sabay silang manalo, sabay sila makakaupo. Tama.
hypothetically, posible mangyari po. Mr.
Yes.
Speaker.
At nangyayari po yan.
Tama
Marami
naman
pong-
po, Mr. Speaker.
Marami pong, may senador po, mayor, ang asawa. Tama po?
Tama po.
Yun, tama. At yung kanyang isang anak, pwedeng maging congressman sa District 1 ng kanilang probinsya.
Tama rin po yun.
So, tatlo na sila. Yung isa pong, yung asawa ng kanyang anak ay pwedeng tumakbo rin sa District 2 at manalo, makakaupo rin po.
Posible rin po, Mr. Speaker.
Apat na.
Pero let me, kung marapatin
Hindi po,
po.
hindi po. Ang tinatanong ko po, hypothetical to. Pwedeng apat.
Okay,
Di ba? O, pwedeng apat. Ngayon po, yung kanyang apo, tumakbo rin at nanalo bilang mayor nung capital town. Pwede pa rin po ba yun? Makakaupo pa rin?
Napaka-active naman po ata yung pamilya.
Marami yan dito sa Kongreso. Hindi po yan hypothetical, nangyayari yan sa kasalukuyan. 5, pwede sila, pwede.
Pwede rin po matalo.
Pwedeng manalo, makakaupo pa rin. Ayon sa proposal ng batas na yan. Pwede po naging vice mayor nung kanyang apo, yung kanyang pinsan.
Kung tatakbo po yung kapatid niya na sobrang active sa isang munisipyo, dahil mas active naman po yung kapatid na isang munisipyo, bawal na po yun. Kasi hindi po pwedeng...
Hindi po, sinasabi ko po, yung pinsan niya, tumakbong vice mayor niya, pwede?
Pwede naman po yun.
Dahil second degree lang. At yung pinsan niya sa isang kapatid ng kanyang tatay, tumakbong konsyal, pwede pa rin po manalo. At makaupo, tama po?
Tama po.
So 7 na sila. At yung asawa nung kanyang ang kapatid ng kanyang asawa ay tumakbo naman bilang barangay captain. Pwede pa rin. Tama po?
Tama po. Pero pwede po ako mag-explain kasi puros lang kung tama o mali.
Hindi, yun ang
Hindi,
inaako. Walo
kung
na.
mamarapatin.
Walo na.
Kung
I am asking
mamarapatin
this
po.
question. This is
Let me
just a
allow me-
premise. This is just a premise at meron po tayong
Okay, but let
itatanong
me
pagkatapos.
explain, Mr. Speaker. If my good
Hindi po.
friend, isa sa pinaka nirerespeto ko. Just a short, Ramadan po namin, pagbigyan mo na po ako mag-explain. Kung mamarapatin po. All of these things are possible, Mr. Speaker. These are hypothetical. This can happen. This can be certain or it can be uncertain. But what is certain, Mr. Speaker, is we allow the people to vote. And that is the primordial consideration of this proposal, Mr.
Bakit pa
Speaker.
po tayo nagpapasa ng batas kung pabayaan na lang natin yung mga tao? Bakit pa po kayo nagpanukala ng ganitong batas kung ang inyo palang prinsipyo ay pabayaan na lang kung sino yung iboto ng tao, siyang manalo, kahit magkakapatid, magkakamag-anak, magpipinsan, mag-asawa, mag-ama. Bakit pa kayo nag-sponsor ng bill
Dahil
nito?
dahil apat na pong taon.
Kahit
Tama
di
ba?
ba kayo naniniwala?
Naniniwala po ako dahil ang Constitution po ang nagsasabi, Mr. Speaker. It's not even your decision, Mr. Speaker. It's not even the decision of Congressman Irice. It's not the decision of this representation. It is what the Constitution dictates.
Okay, okay.
And that is what we're trying to provide, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Tama po, tama po. Naniniwala po ako sa sinabi nyo, pero sabi ko nga po, may certain parameters, yung mga framers ng Constitution. Dapat it will prevent the monopoly of power. Ngayon po, kung ikaw, gobernador, yung iyong pamangkin, vice governor, yung iyong pinsan, bukal, yung iyong anak, mayor, yung isa mong pamangkin, vice mayor, yung isa mong pamangkin ay kapitan ng barangay. Tapos sa kabila naman, ang congressman, kapatid mo, sa kabilang distrito naman, ay yung iyong anak. Wala po bang monopoly of power doon?
Mr.
Hindi
Speaker,
ba? Yung po tanong ko, may monopoly ba of power doon o wala?
no, because, Mr. Speaker, I'll give you the straight answer. Monopoly resides when the power to appoint resides and exercised by one person. That is monopoly. But we allow the people to vote. The primary reason is, again, the sovereignty of the people and the primacy of the right to vote under Section 1, Article 2. Kung may monopolya po, Mr. Speaker, ay kung i-appoint ito at ang magde-decide lang po ay isang tao na paupuin ang ang kapatid or anak or asawa sa isang posisyon, that is an abuse of power. That to me is a blatant abuse of power and a monopoly. The most dangerous form of monopoly. But this time, we present individuals to the voters and the voters vote. That's what the Constitution
So
says.
hindi
And
po
that's what I'm
kailangan,
trying to-
yung
that is
sinasabi
what
niyo po,
I'm
hindi
trying
na
to
kailangan
provide.
itong batas na ito.
So in terms of what now, Mr. Speaker, based on the status quo, just for the sake of argument, Mr. Speaker, that could be what could be described as something that is predominantly controlled by one family. But since we don't have the anti-political dynasty as of yet, there's no point for us to really say that this is dominated by one family. Maybe many offices, Mr. Speaker, are being handled and occupied by the same family. Predominantly, very active ang family nila. But domination in monopoly is also a gesture of one exercising that power to make sure that the sensitive positions are occupied by blood relations that would give him or her undue advantage over these resources. Yun lang, I'm just...
Ngayon po, ang ibig sabihin-
pag mayroon po tayong anti-political dynasty, talagang meron na po tayong definition kung ano po yung abuse of
Subalit
power.
yung sinasabi niyong abuse of power in appointments, ay yung sinasabi niyo,
May nepotism na po tayo, Mr. Speaker.
so ano magagawa ng batas na yan? Hindi ganun din, pareho lang.
ang
Whether there is a law or not, ganun pa rin. It's the same thing.
Mr. Speaker,
If your definition of monopoly of power is just on the appointments, eh di pareho lang, may batas o wala.
no, that is exactly what I'm trying to do because monopoly really resides if one person exercises that authority to appoint a certain relative just so that they can have actual access to resources. That is monopoly, Mr. Speaker. That is very much against the law of nepotism, di ba, Mr. Speaker? But that is precisely one because that's exactly precisely the issue. In-exercise undue advantage ng isang tao. Kaya walang nepotism eh. Ito kasi eleksyon. Hindi ito isang tao. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, it's not the family that decides who run. It's the candidate actually that provides CONA. Because remember, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, the COMELEC requires one candidate to provide the certificate of acceptance and nomination. If you don't have that, probably the tendency you will be described as a nuisance candidate.
there are many
No, Mr. Speaker, my point here, Mr. Speaker, is that the reason why we allow all of this because number one, the subdivision under our political system, 7160, is the autonomy of each political unit. It has a separate constituency. It has to exercise its mandate. It has an internal mechanism and regulation to run their affairs, not necessarily connected with the one or neighboring LGU. That's how the structure of our political units under the 1971-60, Mr. Speaker, of the Local Government Code. We also attach that in order that we can balance it out with the right to vote and the right to be voted upon. And I've mentioned earlier, Mr. Speaker, there are several bases, not only in the Constitution, Section 5 on the suffrage, Section 1, Article 1, but there are other treatises internationally, which we are the party or signatory of this covenants, the civil and political rights, etc., stating, Mr. Speaker, that there shall be no abridging the right to vote and to be voted upon, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors. The anti-political dynasty, as may be defined law, is a regulation and that's not an absolute prohibition. It is an exemption. So we are doing this, Mr. Speaker, in order to decongest the control of one family over one locality, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, so that we can promote and uphold check and balances, which is the essential feature of a working Republican democratic country such as ours, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
I don't think, it encourages the political families to engage more of their family members to run for public office. Anyway, Mr. Speaker, ang isa po sa mga pundasyon ng demokrasya ay check and balance. Naniniwala po ba kayo niya?
Tama po yan, Mr. Speaker.
Kung ang presidente po, ang kanyang pinsang buo ay speaker, at ang yung kanyang anak ay majority leader, magkakaroon po ba ng check and balance?
Unang-una po, yes po, dahil unang-una, ang magkakaiba-iba naman po ng jurisdiction, itong ihikatura, legislatura at ihikutibo. Pasensya na, hindi po ako Tagalog, Maranao po ako, kaya ihikutibo at legislatura, Mr. Speaker.
Sa tingin niyo po ba yan ay hindi magdudulot ng pag-abuso?
Wala naman po dahil may internal mechanism and arrangement po ang bawat institution na ito.
For example, bigyan ko yung example, halimbawa, 2023, 2024, 2025. Ang total allocation po ng 1st District of Leyte kay Speaker Martin Romualdez, nung siya ay Speaker, ay 48,243,911,000. Yan po ang total allocation sa loob ng 3 taon. Yan po ang pinakamahirap na probinsya. Swerte na mga 3 bilyon, 4 na bilyon sa isang taon. Bakit nangyari ito? Bakit hindi equitable yung distribution pagdating kay Speaker Romualdez? Dahil siya ba ay pinsan ng presidente?
Di po. Ako hindi ko nakikita ng ganyan dahil unang-una
Ano
po
po?
may proposal po ng National Expenditure Program. Ang National Expenditure Program ay naalat po nila ang kanilang budget sa bawat probinsya based on the recommendation ng Regional Development Corporation. Nandyan po yung wealth ng kanilang area. Nandyan po yung return taxes na kinakukuha. Nandyan po yung lahat po ng mga possible revenues na nakukuha at nabubuo para ibigay po sa share ng isang area na yan. So, hindi ko po alam kung bakit ito magkakaroon ng issue ng check and balances dahil unang-una, magkaiba po ang institution, ang nag-approve naman po ang Kongreso at wala naman pong kinalaman dito ang ating Pangulo pagdating po sa pag-appreciate ng bawat distrito kung kailan o ano ang kanilang magiging
Hindi po
proyekto.
bang
Sa palagay ko po, that is far-fetched conclusion, Mr. Speaker. I
Hindi po
understand
ba
that they are,
ang
Mr. Speaker, allow me first to address this question. I understand that there are members here who are more biased about this and they want to make this as something political. But I don't think this is something that we can actually attribute the President to the issue of the 2024-25 elections, although this is a separate discussion altogether. But I'm just giving way to our good gentleman because he premised it on the anti-political dynasty. Again, the straight answer is it has no bearing whatsoever. The President being the cousin of the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, how the House of Representatives receives the National Expenditure Program, how the House of Representatives deliberated individual budget of each agencies, how the House of Representatives went on to participate in the bicameral conference, and how the House of Representatives ratified the result of the bicameral conference committee, Mr.
hindi
Speaker.
po ba ang nagre-rekomenda sa Kongreso ng National Expenditures Program ay ang Pangulo?
It is called the President's budget, Mr. Speaker.
So
but
it
I
is
don't
the
think
President's budget, and it's a fact that 48,243,000 was allocated for the 1st District of Leyte because he is the cousin of the President, and 30 billion was given to the 1st District of Ilocos Norte, the son of the President, and it will not happen if they are not a political dynasty.
Mr. Speaker, if I am
Family.
not, if I was not observing my Ramadan, Mr. Speaker, I could have also shout as loud as Congressman Irice.
If I may,
but because
if I may, Mr.
I'm passing
Sponsor.
a Ramadan, I'm prohibited, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Sponsor,
Allow me first, Mr.
allow
Speaker.
me first, may I remind the gentleman to stop, to bring down the decibels a bit. Shouting will not do us an advantage here. Let's debate in a proper way. Just a friendly reminder. Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, let me respond to my good friend and one I respect, Mr. Speaker, very, very calmly. The President acted as the President of Republic of the Philippines, not as a cousin of the former Speaker. The former Speaker acted as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, voted by by majority of the members of the House of Representatives. They have separate mandate, they have separate authority. To say the opposite is not only accusing these two gentlemen, but it is, Mr. Speaker, a very sheer example or conclusory, like one that is having a bias. So I doubt, Mr. Speaker, that the gentleman from Caloocan, one of our respected legislator, would have to derive into that conclusion, discussing about political dynasty and framing it in a way that highlights the blood relation between the sitting president and the former Speaker of the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Noong panahon po ni Pangulong Duterte, ang Quadcom sinabi po na 51 billion yung flood control program ni Congressman Paulo Duterte. Bakit po nangyari yun? Di ba dahil political dynasty rin sila? At ang Pangulo rin ay ang kanyang ama? Yan po, sinabi ng Quadcom.
Mr. Speaker,
Tama po ba?
Mr. Speaker,
What is true to Duterte is not true to the Marcoses. They are both political dynasties.
Mr. Speaker, there are issues, Mr. Speaker, that do not necessarily share by one family, especially if this is about political issues, etc. That's why you have many families running against each other. Because it does not necessarily mean that one family share the same political ideology or advocacy or opinion. But let me frame it to a more actual occurrences in the past, Mr. Speaker. And what the gentleman is referring to, the 2025 budget, Mr. Speaker. It went through, the whole country was watching, Mr. Speaker, during the deliberation. It went through the committee hearings. It passed through the House of Senate. Senate is also parallel doing their own version. And mind you, Mr. Speaker, the 2025 version of the House of the budget was not the 100% reflective of the House version, the one that we adopted in 2025. Mind you, Mr. Speaker, what we adopted in the House of Representatives has the education sector has the highest number of budget amount, the GAAB House version. When it went to the BICAM, it was changed, Mr. Speaker. So where was the participation of the President vis-a-vis the House at the time, former Speaker Martin Romualdez? There was none, if you ask me.
There was.
There was none, Mr. Speaker.
There
Number
was.
two,
The House ratified
allow me to, Mr.
the BICAM report. The
Mr.
House
Speaker, again,
ratified.
I would pretend that the good gentleman from Caloocan is observing the proper decorum because I'm under fasting, Mr. Speaker. I would humbly request him, for the sake of our shared Abrahamic faith, to please avoid shouting.
Sorry.
Because I can hear you. I can hear you quite clearly, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Sponsor, may
Thank
I just
you.
respond to you?
Yeah, I will. Yes.
I
Allow me first.
I am not angry.
Allow me
This is
first
just
to
my
continue.
natural voice. And I'm very passionate about this because I've been fighting for political dynasties yung nilabanan ko. Buti pa nga, buhay pa ako. At napahirapan talaga ako ng gusto. At alam ko yung frame of mind ng karaniwang mga political dynasties. So, yung pong boses ko, hindi po ibig sabihin galit ako. Ito po ay passion. Passion. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you for that explanation. I agree, Mr. Speaker, that the good gentleman from Caloocan is very, very passionate. And the district of Caloocan is very, very fortunate to have the likes of Congressman Irisi as the representative, Your Honor. That's why I said, isa po siya sa nire-respeto ko po. I'm not saying this because he's standing across me. He really is earned my respect. Again, to respond to the question, number one, wala pong nakikita tayo doon na participation. In fact, the President vetoed a portion of the 2025 GAA, Mr. Speaker. So that would again conclude the response of this representation. And if I may request, Mr. Speaker, the good gentleman, to go back to the main topic, which is the anti-political dynasty, and if possible, we can segue with the 2025 budget, but we cannot. I would suggest that we don't dwell our time in the debate and argument on the 2025 budget, which has already been the subject of many things, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Mr. Speaker, I'm just trying to point out that political dynasties breeds corruption. And during the time of Speaker Romualdez and President Marcos, dito po nangyari yung pinakamalaking pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan. And we cannot not put blame to this House kasi po niratify natin yung BICAM committee report. Hindi po ako kasama nun, hindi ako kasama nung 19th Congress. Niraratify po yan. At yan po nangyari, 800 billion diversions and amendments noong 2023, 2024 po 700 billion, at 2025 300 billion plus. Hindi po yan nangyari kung wala pong, ang naniniwala ako, kung wala pong monopoly of power. Kasi po dito lang sa bansa natin, nangyari na wala po akong alam na bansa na ang presidente, yung kanyang pinsang buo ay speaker at yung kanyang anak ay majority leader. Kaya po, sa tingin ko, isa ito sa dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon po ng problema sa check and balance. Anyway,
Mr.
iba na
Speaker,
po
may I
ako
respond? May I respond?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, that is the opinion, Mr. Speaker, of the gentleman from Caloocan. It does not make it as a fact. All of us are entitled to have our own opinions, and that is his opinion. My opinions differ from that of the gentleman from Caloocan. And let me just quote, Mr. Speaker, because I was reminded by one of the participants in Carmona, Mr. Speaker. The one that is actually against anti-political dynasty. According to him, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, "Those who wish to steal will steal. It does not follow that people are related. If they want to steal, they will steal." That's a very logical and practical and pragmatic way of understanding things. No? Hindi naman nangangulugan na magkakamag-anak ay lahat niyan sila magnanakaw. Kasi kung magnanakaw ang isang tao, hindi kinakailangan maging anak ng hari palag magnakaw. Kung ayaw magnakaw ng tao, maski hari yan, hindi yan magnanakaw. And I'm sorry to Congressman Benny Abante, let me quote a passage in the Bible, the story of King Solomon. I mean, he's a king. He governs all the sort of any kingdoms, but he did not steal anything. And the witness of that is the Bible. I'm citing to you this, Mr. Speaker, because each of us would have his or her opinion, and this opinion cannot be treated as a fact. So that is the opinion of the good gentleman from Caloocan, which I respect. And I think that his opinion is wrong. And that is my opinion, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Totoo po yun na kung ang isang tao ay ayaw magnakaw, hindi magnanakaw. Pero kung ang tao ay gustong magnakaw, magnanakaw siya. Pero mas madaling magnakaw kung yung tatay mo ay yung nakabantay sa kaban ng bayan at yung tsuhin ay siya namang may hawak ng susi. Anyway, I'll go to the next item. Equal access. Ang parehong probisyon ng konstitusyon ay nagsasabi rin na dapat garantihan ang pantay na pagkakataon ng mga mamamayan na kapagsilbi sa pamahalaan. Ngayon po, kung governor, vice governor, magpinsan, mayor, kapatid, tatay, congressman, kapatid, congressman, yung lolo, senador, saan pa po papasok yung mga leader kabataan, mga profesional, mga reform advocate, yung mga magagaling na mamamayan na gusto rin maglingkod pero parang wala nang mapasukang pwesto, baka yun na lang mga konsekonsyal at mahirap ang manalo dahil karamihan po dito ay dominado na ng, kung hindi na po political parties ngayon, Sana kung political, liberal, nationalista, PDP, hindi na po. Ngayon po, meron na ring mga local political parties controlled by political dynasty. Saan po papasok itong mga to?
Mr. Speaker, in the 1935 Constitution, Mr. Speaker, we only have two party systems, the Nacionalista and the Liberal Party. In the 1987 Constitution, we made it into multi-party system precisely because should be coincide with the provision in the Constitution to allow everyone for equal access to opportunities, including public service through electoral processes. Mr. Speaker, there's no preclusion. There's no prohibition for anybody to run. No? Lahat naman po pwede. Yung magagaling from the other sectors, kung halimbawa sabihin natin na overcrowded ng politika, halimbawa ng family, yung mga posisyon, paano naman yung ibang political families o ibang kandidato, saan sila pupwesto? Pupwesto naman, pwede naman po sila kasi ang halalan, kung nasa sa tamang taon ka, edad, wala ka namang kaso, hindi ka naman madideclare nuisance, at meron ka namang partido na nire-representa at nininominate ka ng partido mo, pwede ka naman tumakbo. Wala naman nagsasabing bawal eh. Kaya nga po, ang aking kasagutan sa aking kaibigan at mukhang tutulungan po niya ako dito, kailangan natin i-pair itong anti-political dynasty. Balikan po natin yung campaign finance. Kasi isa po yan sa mga issue na kailangan natin tingnan para ma-level yung playing field, yung gustong tumakbo, magkaroon ng better chance. Kasi naniniwala man po talaga ako kay Congressman Irice, meron talagang mga qualified na candidate na because they don't have that resources, ay wala silang pagkakataon na manalo. So baka pwede natin balikan yung mga electoral reform measures tulad po ng campaign finance, strengthening political system, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor.
Tama po yun sapagkat, Mr. Speaker, kapag ka nagpapalit-palitan yung isang pamilya sa dekada-dekadang mga eleksyon, talagang mahihirapan dahil sa name recall pa lang, talo ka na. Di ba? Pangalawa, yung financial resources, nagagamit yung pondo ng bayan, AKAP, AIX, TUPAD, di ba? Ganon. At mga proyekto. At ito po ay nagpapalakas ng kasi po yung mga political dynasties, ang aking pananaw, para manatili sila sa kapangyarihan, gagawin nila ang lahat eh. Kaya pumapasok na po dyan yung corruption, patronage, politics, at ang hindi na po yung kaunlaran ng bayan kung minsan yung naasikaso, kundi yung political dependency ng mga mamamayan para hindi sila matanggal sa pwesto, manatili sila sa pwesto. Kaya nga, pagkatagal-tagal na nila sa pwesto. At makikita nyo, yung pinakamahihirap na bayan sa ating bansa ay pinamumunuan, pinagaharian ng mga political families. Yun ang sponsor. Kung ang mandato ng konstitusyon ay pagbawal ang political dynasties, ngunit ang batas na ipapasa natin, it will still allow the domination of political monopoly and will really limit the participation of ordinary citizens. Hindi ba sa tingin nyo pwede itong ma-question sa Korte Suprema?
Mr. Speaker, the reason why we are actually trying to at least balance it out, no, to give also primacy to the general principle, which is the equal access for all for public service, and it is in the first line, Article 26, Section 2, no? The state shall ensure equal opportunity to public service, and then there comes the next line, which is prohibiting the anti-political dynasty, is in order that we avoid a possible question or petition before the Supreme Court. That is what we intend to avoid. Because I personally would like to, I should be candid about this, no? Let me be honest with this. It is not, as a form of a track record, it is not good on my reputation to sponsor something which later on struck by the Supreme Court as constitutional. But to give you the direct answer, yes, anything can be questioned before the Supreme Court. This is a Republican democratic country. Anybody can do so.
Salamat po. Nais kong banggitin po sa ating chairman ng Committee on Suffrage and Electoral na napakalayo po ng bersyon ng panukalang batas na tinatalakay natin dito sa bersyon na inaprubahan ng committee sa Senado. Ang pagkakaiba ng malayo po kung magpapatuloy po tayo sa bersyon ito, hindi kaya posibleng magkaroon ng deadlock o impasse sa Bicameral Conference Committee, at kung mangyayari yun, hindi po ba magiging resulta ay walang anti-political dynasty law na maipapasa?
And again, Mr. Speaker, that is what we do, no, and what does as much as possible try to avoid. There will be discussions, I'm sure. Sigurado po yan. Medyo mainit po yung discussion sa BICAM. Sigurado po dahil yung may mga disagreeing provisions nga po. Kaya nga po magkakaroon, I think, ng mas masusing, ang narinig ko nga po kay Senate President, gusto niya live stream ng BICAM. Tayo naman po bilang chairman ay wala naman po problema kung ila-live stream ito para maging transparent po ating proseso. So inaiwasan po natin yan. We're hoping na magkakaroon talaga ng debate.
Ito po ay priority bill ng ating Pangulo. Tama po ba?
Yes po, isa po ito sa na-considera na LEDAC priority, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker.
So ito po ay napag-usapan sa LEDAC.
Napag-usapan po ito sa LEDAC, I'm sure. Because,
Ano po napagkasunduan? Kasi po, nandun po ang ating Pangulo na siya po nag-prioritize na ito at pinangako niya ito sa kanyang mga pahayag sa mga mamamayan. Nandun din po ang miyembro ng mababang kapulungan, nandun din yung miyembro ng Senado. Wala po bang napagkasunduan kung anong uri? Dahil alam ng ating Pangulo yung ibig sabihin ng anti-political dynasty. Hindi po ba ito na pag-usapan man lang? Dahil alam ko po, para mas madali ang mga batas, kaya nga tayo nagbubuo ng LEDAC para mapapag-usapan na, para sa ganun ay hindi na masyadong malayo yung mga magiging bersyon ng bawat batas sa bawat kapulungan. Hindi ba ito napag-usapan?
Naiintindihan ko po yung practicality na sinasabi po ni Congressman na aking kaibigan, magalang-galang na Irise. Ngunit ang Pangulo po, totoo po yung kanyang sinasabi through his spokesperson, si Yusek Castro, na ginagalang po ng Pangulo yung proseso at independensya ng mababa at ng makapulungan at ng Senado. Sinasabi po niya kinakailangan magkaroon na ng legal definition ang anti-political dynasty. Ngunit kung paano po itong proseso na ito, paano po mag-arrive into different versions ang Kongreso, ang House of Representatives, ang Senado, ay kanya po itong nirerespeto sa pamamagitan ng hindi pag-intervene kung ano po yung magiging paksa o bersyon nitong dalawang kapulungan na ito. Dahil meron naman po talaga tayong mekanismo, ito po yung BICAM. Pero naninanais ko po sabihin kay Congressman Irise, ang very strict po na natatanggap natin na galing sa Pangulo at very much open naman po ang kanyang opisina na kinakailangan may anti-political dynasty at magkaroon na ng definisyon para mabuhay ang konstitusyon pagdating sa paglilimita ng monopolya ng bawat pamilya sa bawat distrito o bawat locality sa ating bansa.
Sir Speaker, Mr. Sponsor, the version coming from this House is authored by the son of the President.
That is correct, Mr. Speaker.
And he did not consult the President on what is on the President's mind in prioritizing this particular bill.
I cannot speak for the majority leader, neither would I know the family dynamics.
But the
or
majority
what they
leader
discuss
is the
on table
author.
on dinner table. But my association with the majority leader is me being the chairman of the electoral reform, and he as our majority leader. We don't discuss about family matters or what discussions they discuss it over on the table with the president. So I would not know, Mr. Speaker.
Di po ba ang purpose ng LEDAC ay para magkaroon ng isang direksyon ang gobyerno? May isang polisiya ba o magkakaibang interes ang umiiral?
The purpose of LEDAC, Mr. Speaker, is for the national government to identify priority legislations that might be needed to attain the objective of a certain administration. In this case, the Marcos administration felt that we need to give life to the 40 years na nakastagnant na anti-political dynasty as far as this proposal is concerned.
Mr. Speaker, so you are saying that the only objective of the President is to provide a definition and not political reforms?
That is to make it more simple, but the impact of this proposal, Mr. Speaker, is to change altogether the political landscape. As stated earlier, Mr. Speaker, I have given you actual numbers on the direct impact of the anti-political dynasty on the municipal, city, government, and national level, Mr.
Hindi
Speaker.
po
Your Honor.
magkakaroon ng direct impact yung mga sinabi niyo pong numero, lilipat lang po ng posisyon.
That we cannot do because
Yes, lilipat lang po.
I am here as a sponsor, not as
Yes.
as clairvoyance. I cannot predict what will happen to those who will be displaced by this anti-political dynasty measure.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to go further. Because this is no longer just about legislative inconsistency. This is about sincerity. If this House passes a bill that effectively protects political dynasties, then what message that sends? It sends a message that the President's commitment to political reform ay hindi totoo. That his promise to prevent repetition of trillion peso corruption, particularly in sectors like flood control, ay hindi seryoso. That instead of real reforms, what we are seeing is appeasement, delay, at pagpapalipas ng galit ng taong bayan. Marami na po nagrarally against anti-political dynasty. Let us not deceive ourselves. When you file a weak law, when you pass a diluted version, when you allow contradiction between the House and the Senate, you are not solving the problem. You are buying time until people get tired, people forget, and accountability disappears. And that is the danger. Because corruption thrives not only in secrecy, but in delay, distraction, and deception. Mr. Speaker, ulitin ko po. Bilang pagwawakas, ulitin ko lang po, mabuti. Kung may papasa natin yung batas na ito, ay kung ako po ay tatakbong governor at nanalo, makakaupo ako.
Sana manalo ka.
Kung manalo po. Okay? Hypothetical question. Kung ako po ay tumakbong governor, nanalo ako, makakaupo ako. Tama po? Pwede?
Yes, kung manalo po kayo.
Kung yung anak ko ay tumakbo na congressman sa 1st District at nanalo po, makakaupo din po.
Yes po, kung manalo.
Pwede po?
Kung manalo po.
Dalawa na kami. Yung isa ko pong anak, dalawa lang po yung anak ko. Tumakbo naman sa District 2 ng Caloocan at nanalo. Makakaupo din po.
Kung manalo po siya.
Manalo po.
Kung
Tama,
manalo po
tatlo
siya.
na kami. Yung asawa ko po na hindi nakikialam sa politika dahil sa batas na may papasahan na ito, nagka-interest na. Biglang tumakbo na senador. Pwede pa rin manalo at makaupo yung asawa.
Naku, ang laki ng gastos nyo. Manong
Oo,
Geres,
di bali po.
Manong Egay, ha?
Pero pwede po.
Kung manalo po siya.
Yung pamangking ko po at tumakbo ng vice mayor ng Caloocan, nanalo. Pwede pa rin po makaupo.
Kung manalo po siya, and I hope that is not your plan, ha?
Hindi nga po.
Medyo malaki yung gagastos.
Na-encourage po ako sa batas nyo eh. Sa panukala nyo. Pwede. 5.
Kung mananalo po, kasi ang taong bayan po ang magde-decide,
Kaya nga po,
Mr. Speaker,
kaya
Your
tanong mo
Honor.
nga lang po kung pwede. Pwede po.
Tama po, kung siya po yung pinoto ng ating taong bayan, sila po yung may kapangyarihan. So tama po, mananalo po kung
At
binoto
yung
ng taong bayan.
sister-in-law ko po, kung tumakbo pong mayor at nanalo, pwede pa rin makaupo.
Pag nanalo po at binoto siya ng taong bayan, mauupo po talaga siya.
So, ito po ay hindi po anti-political dynasty law. It will institutionalize political dynasties. At palagay ko po, mga tayo nagpinoy-henyo tayo, pwede ka na pwede. Kaya ang final na sagot ko po, hindi to anti-political dynasty law. Ito po ay isang budol. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Allow me to respond, Mr. Speaker, to the opinion of my good friend, Congressman Egay Irice. There's never been any anti-political dynasty in this country for 40 years. This is the first time that we are providing that measure that policy, state policy, so that we can actually decentralize, decongest, and weaken the control of family over political resources over one political unit, Mr. Speaker. And to say the least is, to me, Mr. Speaker, does not have any point of reference. It does not hold any water. Because the current setup, Mr. Speaker, is allowing each and every one, regardless of whether or not you are a son, you're a daughter. This time, we have spelled out that there's no way a relative without the second degree of consanguinity and affinity be allowed to occupy public office. And that is progressive to me. That is progress. That is moving towards to none, to zero, to something, Mr. Speaker, Your Honors. We may differ our own interpretation. We may oppose this proposal. But what is certain, Mr. Speaker, what is certain is we allow the people to choose their leaders, and we disallow any family that would control resources of one political family simply because of their chances of winning, simply because that they are dominant in one particular family. And that is what we intend to break: concentration of powers, Mr. Speaker, without necessarily preventing, disallowing, or curtailing the right of the Filipino people to exercise their preferential right. As a Republican democratic state, the right to vote is the most important right of all. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker.
Maraming salamat. Please shake your hands, both of you. To cross